Please welcome the director, Torquil Jones, executive producer, Jimmy Chin, and a special welcome to Nims.
My name is Tom Powers. I'm the artistic director of the festival. I want to start by asking, between Nims and Torquil, how did the idea to document this come about, and how did Torquil become the man to do it?
Guys, probably it's the first time where I had switched off my phone completely was this, the whole feature film. Hey, I'm a fucking mother tough cookie. Probably I cried 4 or 5 times. I think it took a while for me to digest because since this project, I haven't stopped. Just to give an example, literally 4 days ago, I was on the summit of Dublin, and obviously made it over here to do what I do. Well, I'm here to change the world, I guess. Coming into the story, look, before March 2019, I was no one. Well, I was someone, but to the media world, to the rest of the world, nothing. I was in the special forces. I had no Facebook, no Instagram, nothing. But still then, I had 3 world records on a 1,000-meter peak. In process of raising the funding, people will say, how are you going to do this? I'm going to keep it short, guys, but I felt like at least the first question, I wanted to get into the tune. And I said, you know what? Whether how tough it is, blah, blah, it doesn't matter. I can do it. I have even climbed at the wind speed of 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. And some person who has also climbed 7 summits and Everest, they say, no, it's fucking impossible, all these things. And I was like, okay, here we go. Now, there's an argument, and I have to give justice, try to explain, etc., etc. Then what I felt like is, if I document all these things, at least film all those stuff, the video, the picture speaks 1,000 words, and that is a self-evidence. So that was the start of it. But since this whole project was never about myself, never about my personal goal, honestly, guys, if I tell one of the story that I have done in the Special Forces, you all gonna sit in your pants. So, so it wasn't about that. It was about something that everybody, those people who have watched this, movie today, I'm sure you guys have taken something. And as the world sees it, people will get, specifically in this pandemic issues, everything, we believe, nothing is impossible. So that was the whole idea. But again, all those images were like filmed on the mountains. I had 2 guys. So in process of raising the funds, sorry guys, I'm not giving you a bit of, but
Take it.
yeah. So I was like every day in this stage like this, saying that guys, we need to support this, and then people were like, it's impossible and all that. In that process, I went and give exactly kind of a similar speech, and there were 2 Gurkha, the son of 2 Gurkha guys who were vloggers, Alit and Sagar. I must say that, okay? They said, brother, we don't have money, but we can come and film up to base camp. I was like, whoa, okay, fantastic. So those guys came and filmed up to base camp on the first phase of the mission, okay? And after the base camp, it was us, mainly me and Migma David, and obviously rest by the crew. But it was bizarre. Obviously, I'm not Jimmy Chin. I can't film like that. But it was all in random. We brought it probably 6, 7, different terabyte worth of hard drives, more than 100 hours of footage, and obviously this man gave life to the whole movie, and I was so pleased that Jimmy was there to support it and even make it better. So it's a very humbling experience, guys. Thank you.
And chai. And chai.
Yeah, what is he?
Yeah, just to add from my perspective, I was very fortunate that I met Nims when he was halfway through the project, and then we kind of hit it off straight away on a personal level, and he very kindly invited me to his home to view some of the footage, and I was just blown away by it. And then we kind of started to talk about how we could possibly structure a documentary, and I think we were both very aligned straight away that we wanted to make a kind of action-adventure thriller on a global scale, but a film that had real kind of heart and emotional depth. And then, so I started the edit process, and we and I were very keen to try and get Jimmy and Chai on board. Huge fans of them as filmmakers and really experts in this genre. So getting their insight into the edit was extremely helpful. Jimmy added a layer of context to the film that we didn't have before. And then Chai, who I've got to say a special thanks to, just her insight and through her experience and her expertise into the real kind of nuances and craft of the narrative and developing those documentary themes, she helped take the film to another level.
So, Jimmy, you and Chai have made these other climbing films, Meru and Free Solo. I wonder, from your experience as a climber yourself and making these films, you know, what you saw as the challenges Torquil was going to be facing in creating this film, which is not just one climb, but 14 climbs, and how you feel he raced up to that challenge.
Well, when we first saw a rough cut, I thought it was in pretty good shape. But I felt like there wasn't much context, and I inadvertently volunteered myself to be that context. But there were things when I saw the film that I could tell that people who didn't climb in the mountaineering world or in high altitude weren't going to be able to understand what was really going on. Just like the fact when you watch footage of Nims walking at 8,000 meters, nobody looks like that at 8,000 meters, where they're just like, you know, like, I was just like laughing because I was like, but I was just like, nobody is going to understand because he just looks like he's like walking up the hill, but like nobody walks like that at 8,000 meters. And so there were just things like that that I thought, you know, there needs to be a little bit more context. And that was kind of one of the first thoughts. But then I also knew, I was like, honestly, the person that's going to contribute the most to this is Chai, because she knows how to pull a narrative very taut and has the sensibility to kind of look at the subtext in a way that, you know,
Look at it through a non-climber's eyes, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and more. But I was like, well, we should bring in the Nims of filmmaking over here. Like,
Well, let's take some questions from the audience. Raise your hand. I'll call on you and repeat the question. Yeah, right here. Stand up, please, and talk as loud as you can.
Hi. First of all, congratulations. That was epic on every level. Literally every level. When you talk about taking risks and that you have to take that risk to get the success, when do you know that one risk is that one risk too far, that you're going to kill yourself? Like, where is that line? How do you find that line, and how do you push it further without committing grief?
Well, you always know. You just got to be honest. No, because, you know, just to elaborate that point, for example, you know, you are on K2 and all that, and you know, there's a point where, let's say, for example, me as a Nims star, you know, if I think like, okay, I got this huge pressure, I have done this much mountains, I'm from Special Forces, Gurkha, Sherpa background, Nepalese background, whatever. You think that beyond what your true limitations are, then you're going to mess it up. Just be honest. Either you can do it or you can't do it. Do not do it for anybody else. As long as you do it for yourself and you're honest to that, that is a very fine line.
So she was asking about, there's a point in the film where money seems precarious, and how do you go from that to being able to do it?
Okay, so yes, you know, it's this crazy, crazy story, and I think probably the in-depth answer you'll probably get on my book, Beyond Possible. It's out in January, so just make a note. You know, but yeah, again, what I had really believed was this was out of norm. Nobody even not thought about it. Nobody could even imagine that this was possible. So that's why people were not supporting it. So yeah, a bit of fundraising over there, remortgaged my house. When I left London Heathrow for Nepal, I only had 15% of the funding. And as I started climbing, Annapurna done, come back down, supposed to go to Dhaulagiri, rescue happened. For the project that I gave my job, my pension, my life, everything on the line, I went to save people's life, got back down, and because of that, I climbed Dhaulagiri in a very brutal conditions. And it moves on. And I think when people see that, at the end of the day, guys, we're not bad at all. We have a heart. And people started supporting. And at the end, from the project, which it was started by me, I think when I finished it, and today, I think it's people's project.
Gentleman here.
I'm no film critic, but I think that was a truly amazing film. It was probably one of the best films I've ever witnessed. So congratulations for that. My question is quite simple. It's stealing a line from your movie. So tonight you party, tomorrow you plan. What are you planning?
So the question is, what are you planning next? Besides your book coming out in January.
Yeah. You got it. Thank you, buddy.
Pre-order on Amazon.
He won't tell anyone what his plan is.
Empire State Building, World Trade Center.
Well, I mean, just to be clear, like that moment was a couple years ago now, right? So how many times have you climbed K2 since that moment?
I think we just have to wait for another movie, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's public, right? I can
Yeah,
talk
it's
about
public,
it.
yes.
I mean, he did also, between then and this moment, had made the first Winter Sun at K2, which was the last, I believe, the last 8,000 meter peak that had not been climbed in the winter without supplemental oxygen. I'm just going to stay here and be context for Nims. And a bunch of other peaks, but I think it's a pretty long list. And every time I see the phone ring and it says Nims on my phone, I'm like, oh, okay, Jesus, here we go. And the conversations are hysterical because I'm like, what do I always say to you, Nims? I'm like, you don't have to do that much. Yeah.
On the aisle there.
Thank you so much for an amazing job. We were saying our favorite part was when you think, at the point when you think you're fucked, you're only really 45%. That's like, I would take that with me forever. But also really inspired by the idea of justice that was in the film. And I would love for you to talk a little bit more about where your team is at now. They were amazing. And so inspiring. A little bit about where your team is at and also like your vision for the future of Nepalese mountaineers and what does that look like and how do you get there?
Can you talk more about where your team is at? And the future
So
of
okay,
Nepalese mountaineers?
got it. So Migma David, he's my brother. He's my right hand man. On this project, he became the first ever guy, first youngest guy, not first. He's the youngest guy in the world to climb all the 14 peaks. We got Galzen. He has done 10 now. So we got only 4 of those remaining. So it's Lakpa Dendi. We got Gesman. He has done 8 of those again. And, they all are like highly paid guides, super, super highly paid guides. They all take pride in that. As I said, literally 4 days ago, I was on Amadablam. And Migma David was, I was guiding the Princess of Qatar. I got back down here for my work, and Migma took the second lead, and he took, 11 people on the summit, and they are in Kathmandu now, maybe partying. So that's where they are.
And they're all on Instagram.
Yes. Only you are not. But yeah, I think the world is changing, and it's changing for a good, other than the climate crisis, I guess, and the COVID stuff. But yeah, we have a hope, right? As long as you got good intentions and your goals are bigger than you, I think there's always positivity. Thank you on that.
Awesome movie, absolute treat. We came in, we actually didn't expect this, something that happened here, something that we're taking with us is absolutely, it's amazing. So my true question is, when in your life did you actually figure out that you had that in your body to be superhuman? Because this is not normal human, right? Like that moment you're like, you know what? Now I think I can quit my job and I can bet on this to make a living out of this, right? And absolutely phenomenal job. And congratulations, and we're proud of you. The whole country is proud of you, man.
I think to answer that question, Sky, I think everyone in this room is superhuman. I mean it. But listen, the trick is, when I was young, I just wanted to be a Gurkha. Even though I was probably, amongst 80 people in the school, maybe third, fourth, quite smart, but I didn't want it to be a doctor, pilot, engineer. I just wanted to be a Gurkha. Once I joined the Gurkha, found about, special forces in the UK, and we heard like, oh, it's like a James Bond, all these things. They go and do these things and all this stuff, and I just wanted to be part of that cool group. And yeah, I just wanted to be UK Special Forces. But after that, this project, again, guys, if it was all about me, I don't think I would be successful, because there were so many layers of pain, agony, trouble, whatever you call it, guys, those who can speak better English. There were loads of that, layers and layers of that. But when your goal and your ambitions is just bigger than you, and you believe in that, you all can be superhuman. Thank you.
We need to wrap it up here. Torquil, could you let people know when this film will be out in the wider world after its world premiere tonight?
So it's on Netflix from the 29th in every country.
November 29th. So tell your friends you're the first audience in the world to see it. Thank you very much for coming to NYC. Thanks especially to Jimmy, Torquil, and Nims.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I got our brothers from Nepal. I think we probably take 2 seconds if it's okay. And guys, look, thank you so much for being here today. We love you all. Thank you for your support. It means a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this wasn't planned, okay? It's on the spot, so.